Good morning, Principal Sir, Master in Charge of Clubs and Societies, Mr. TBCP Amaratunga, Deputy and Assistant Principals, Senior Games Master, Teacher in Charge of the Advanced English Skills Improvement Unit, Mr. Vasana Vijayasinghe, Guest Lecturer, Ms. MADHURESHA CHATHURANI, Teachers, Prefects, and my fellow Royalists. Welcome to Day 2 of the Aurora, the grammar workshop organized by the Advanced English Skills Improvement Unit of Royal College. Before we start the session today, I would like to request all of you to rename yourselves with your name and your grade. You can do that now. Rename yourselves with your grade and name. Today we have with us a consultant lecturer at the National Institute of Business Management, Ms. MADHURESHA CHATHURANI. Last week, on day 1 of the Aurora, she conducted an amazing session on question types. Today, she will be conducting another amazing session on phrasal verbs. Ms. MADHURESHA CHATHURANI, over to you.
Thank you so much, Sumadhu. A very good morning to all of you. Sumadhu, am I audible?
Yes, miss.
Right. A very good morning to all of you. Just like last week, even today, we are going to do a lesson. One second, please. Sumadhu, can you see the screen?
No, miss, not yet. It was there before.
One second. Sumadhu, can you see the screen now?
It's visible.
Thank you.
But miss, it's not on full screen.
Is it the same?
Yeah, you have to do it from that screen share option in Zoom.
1 second. Yeah, it's going to be okay now. Now?
Yeah, it's visible.
Right. Thank you so much. Sorry about the interruption. So just like last week, even today, we are going to do a lesson, which is an integration of speaking and grammar. It means today's lesson will help you to speak fluently, and it will also help you to enhance your knowledge on grammar. To get started, if I ask you to look at these images and to think of a verb that you can use to describe these actions, what would you say? Have a look at the first image. You would definitely say, Miss, come in is appropriate. Yeah, definitely. What about the second? Go out. It's not raining anymore. You can go out. An appropriate verb to describe the image. Third one, put on. It's called put on your shirt, put on. Fourth one, hurry up, get in. Get in is a verb. Next one, get out. Get out. Get out is a verb that you can use here. Next image. Let's get started. Can you please take out your grammar books? Take out is a verb that you are going to use. One, run away. It's going to rain. Let's run away. Run away is a verb that you're going to use. The other image. What are you looking for? I'm looking for the pearl of the Indian Ocean. I'm looking for. Look for. And the last image. We should look after animals. Look after. Have a look at these verbs one more time. You will see something different here. They're a little bit different from other regular verbs you use. What is the difference? The difference is you see a verb plus a particle. In all of these verbs, you see a verb plus a particle. Sometimes it's a preposition. First one, come in, verb plus preposition. Second, go out, there, verb plus adverb. So it's either a verb plus preposition or an adverb. What do we call them? If there's a verb plus a verb plus preposition or an adverb, what do you call that? You call that a phrasal verb. Now you know how to differentiate a phrasal verb from a verb. Yeah, you can differentiate. How do you differentiate? If it's a verb plus preposition or an adverb, you can call it a phrasal verb. But is our definition complete? Just because there is a verb plus a preposition, can we always call it a phrasal verb? I want you to have a look at these two sentences. First one, go through the park. Okay, as Ms. MADHURESHA said, this has a verb plus preposition. Okay, second one, go through this book. Again, there's a verb as well as a preposition. If I ask you a question, do you think both of these sentences have a phrasal verb? If not, which sentence has a phrasal verb? Any idea? Any guesses? It's all right to make mistakes, but a good guess? Which one has a phrasal verb? First one or the second one? True, both of these sentences have a verb plus preposition. So do you think both of these sentences have phrasal verbs? Not really. Why not? Look at the first one. Go through the park. Even though there is a verb and a preposition, these two words are not combined and one meaning has not been created. But look at the second. Go through this book. What does that mean? Read this book. Go through means read this book. This is a phrasal verb. Why? If it's a phrasal verb, the verb and the particle should be combined and one meaning has to be created. But in the first one, I agree, you can see a verb and a preposition, but just because there is a verb and a preposition, you can't call it a phrasal verb. You need to see whether the verb and the particle, they are combined and a single meaning is created. If so, you can label it a phrasal verb. You can call it a phrasal verb. So as you all can understand, the first sentence does not have a phrasal verb, but the second sentence has a phrasal verb. So remember, this is something very important for you to remember. Just because there is a verb and a preposition, you can't call it a phrasal verb. You need to see whether these two words are combined and a single meaning is created. So the complete definition. The definition for a phrasal verb is, it's a combination. It's a combination of a verb and an adverb or a preposition which gives a single meaning. Look at the underlined words, which gives a single meaning. A single meaning has to be there. Look at the three phrasal verbs you can see. Give up. You know the meaning of the verb give. Can you please give this to me? Up is a particle. You see, these two words are combined and a single meaning is created. Give up means you stop something. You cease doing something. You should give up your bad habits. You should give up. It means you should stop doing that. You see, the verb and the particle, they are combined and a single meaning is created. Second one, make out. You know the meaning of the verb make. Can you make me a cake? Can you make me a tea? But when you add the particle out, it has a different meaning now. These two words are combined and one meaning is created. Make out means what? Make out means see clearly. See clearly. For example, I can write something on the board and ask from you, can you make out my handwriting? Can you see my handwriting clearly? There is a person, and I might tell my friend, I can't make out whether it's a man or a woman. I can't make out whether it's a man or a woman. It means I can't see clearly whether it's a man or a woman. Make out. You see, the verb and the particle, they are combined and a new meaning is created most of the time. A single meaning is created. One definition is given. Third one, take off. Take this. You can understand. But when you add the particle off, it has a different meaning. It's warm. Take off your coat. Take off. It means remove. See, the verb and the particle, they are combined and a single meaning is created. For them, you can call phrasal verbs. So in summation, just because you see a verb and a particle can be a preposition or an adverb, just because you see a verb plus a preposition or an adverb, don't call it a phrasal verb. See whether these two words are combined and a single meaning is created. I want you to think of a phrasal verb that you can use to describe these images. For the first image, what kind of phrasal verb can you use? Anybody? What kind of phrasal verb can you use for that? First image? For the first image.
You can unmute your mics and reply, like last week.
Yes. It's all right to make mistakes because we are here to learn.
Take off.
Exactly. Take off. Thank you. Take off. Take off. Okay. Another important thing is to remove. Also, we can use a phrasal verb take off. Even for a plane, when it's airborne, same phrasal verb can be used. So this is why learning phrasal verb is quite challenging, especially for us. For non-native English speakers like us, we find this challenging because the same phrasal verb can be used in different contexts. One phrasal verb can have several different meanings. To remove, you can use a phrasal verb take off. Even for a plane, when it's airborne, you use the same phrasal verb. Second one, can you think of a phrasal verb for the second image?
Turn on.
Switch on, turn off.
Switch on.
Turn on.
Turn on. Switch on. Switch on.
Very good. Third one, third image.
Light up.
Third image.
Help out.
When your parents are old.
Help out. Help out. Help out. Walk away.
Okay. You need to take them out. Take them out. Take him out. Another. Now this person, look at this person. What kind of a person?
Help him out.
What should we do?
Help him out.
Look after.
Exactly, look after. Look is a verb. After is a particle. We should look after the sick people. We should look after the old people. Look after. It's a phrasal verb. Fourth one. Somebody might say, look at you. You put on a lot. I think you should do exercises. I think you should think of a phrasal verb that you can use.
Work out.
Work out. Very good. Excellent. You should work out. Correct. Work out. Correct. Work out is a phrasal verb. Look at yourself. You put on a lot. I think you should work out again. Fifth one.
Put on. Put on.
Take off. Put on or take off. Correct. And the last one. And the last
Get up. Get up.
Wake up.
Wake up.
Okay. Good job. Wake up. Get up. Get up. Wake up.
Get up.
Get
off.
See, as you see, we use a lot of phrasal verbs in our day-to-day conversations. Now, why should we learn phrasal verbs? Why is it important to learn phrasal verbs? Do you think we should learn phrasal verbs? Yes, it's really important that you learn phrasal verbs. Why? Why is it important? One thing, in our day-to-day conversations, we use a lot of phrasal verbs. And if you can't understand the meaning of the phrasal verb, you'll be in trouble. Have a look at this mini dialogue. Hi, what are you waiting for? I'm waiting for a bus. Why? What happened to your car? My car has been acting up again. I must get someone to have a look at it. What's the phrasal verb you see in this conversation?
Acting up.
Acting up.
Look at.
Acting up.
Look at.
Look at and acting up. Acting up.
Yes, that's correct. Acting up is a phrasal verb. You know the meaning of the verb act. But when you add the particle up, there is a new definition. There is a new meaning. What does that mean? When somebody says, my computer is acting up again, I don't know what to do with it. My phone is acting up again. My car is acting up again. I'm sorry, can you please?
It's like a fall of something.
Yeah, it's broken, doesn't work, malfunction, doesn't work properly. My car is acting up again, act up. You see, even though you know the meaning of the verb act, but when you add the particle up, it has a different meaning. What if you don't know the meaning of the verb act up? How are you going to respond to your friend? You will be speechless. You won't know what to say. In our day-to-day conversations, people use a lot of phrasal verbs. So we should learn phrasal verbs because the meanings of the phrasal verbs are not always easy to guess. Some phrasal verbs are very easy to guess. Come in. What else? Take off, look for, they are very easy to guess. But some phrasal verbs are not easy to guess. That's why we need to make an effort. You will have to make an extra effort to learn phrasal verbs. For that, I can advise you to buy a good book on phrasal verbs. There are very good books on phrasal verbs. If you can afford, buy a good book on phrasal verbs. If not, what you can easily do is to download a good list of phrasal verbs and study at least 5 phrasal verbs a day. You're going to be benefited. You will learn a lot. Okay? Have a look at the second dialogue. Hey, why are you in a sad mood? You look pale. What's wrong with you? No, nothing serious. Well, I'll tell you the reason. There's a girl in the office he fancies, but he's scared to ask her out. What's a phrasal verb here?
Out.
Ask out.
Ask her.
Exactly. Correct. Ask out is a phrasal verb.
Ask out.
Yeah, correct. Ask out is a phrasal verb. Well, you know the meaning of the verb ask. Can I ask you a question? But when you add the particle out, it has a different meaning. It has a new definition. Ask out means what? Ask out means you invite somebody for a date. You want to start a romantic relationship. So you invite somebody for a date. You see how the meaning changes? Just because you know the meaning of the verb ask, the meaning of the phrasal verb ask out is not the same. So just because you know the meaning of the verb ask, you can't easily guess the meaning of the phrasal verb ask out. So that's why you need to learn phrasal verbs, because some phrasal verbs have an idiomatic meaning. They are difficult to guess. Another. Do you know why? Do you know what has happened to Mr. Pereira? Yeah, I heard, but I wonder why Mrs. Pereira refused to bail him out. What's the phrasal verb here?
Bail him out.
Bail him out.
Yeah.
Bail him out.
Bail out is a
Bail
phrasal
out.
verb. Correct.
out.
Yeah. Yeah. Bail out is a phrasal verb. What does that mean? You must have heard people using this phrasal verb. Bail out. Bail out means you make an amount of money. You pay an amount of money to the court and release a person until the trial. You make an amount of money, you pay an amount of money, and you release a person. Bail out. See, in our day-to-day conversations, we use a lot of phrasal verbs. So it's really important that you make an effort to improve your knowledge on phrasal verbs. Have a look at dialogue number 4. Did you see Ashoka? I saw him with Mrs. Samaratunga. They are getting along much better these days. What is the phrasal verb here?
Getting along. Getting along.
That's correct. Getting along. Get, correct. Get along is a phrasal verb. You know the meaning of the verb get, but when you add the particle along, now there's a new meaning. There's a new definition. Get along means what? They are getting along much better these days. They're very friendly. They're always together. Very friendly. If I tell you, I don't get along with my sister's husband. I don't get along with my sister's husband. What does that mean? We are not friendly. We are not very friendly. Get along means very friendly. They are always together. They stick to each other. See? Just because you know the meaning of the verb get, you can't easily guess the meaning of the phrasal verb get along. Okay? So I'm trying to emphasize here the fact that it's really important to improve our knowledge on phrasal verbs. In this dialogue, you will see what happens if we do not use the appropriate phrasal verb. Let me read it for you. See what I discard in this report. There's a big deficit. We need to finalize this today. Let's show it to the manager. He will present an idea. Well, look at the underlined verbs. Discard, present. Meaningful, grammatical, quite okay. See what I discard in this report. But the word discard, can't we think of a better word here? The meaning is there. See what I discard, but it doesn't sound. You can think of a better word. You can think of a better verb rather. What would you say?
Found out.
Exactly. Thank you so much. I'm impressed. Very good. See what I found out in this report? I found out a big deficit. See what I found out. In your conversations, do you use verbs like discard? This is okay for a report. Yeah, when you write an article, this is all right. We discard, or the discarding. This is fine. But for a conversation, for a day-to-day conversation, do you say, I discard? No, you don't. See what will happen if you do not use the appropriate phrasal verb. You will sound very bookish. You will sound very artificial. Second example, second sentence, let's show it to the manager. He will present an idea. Present an idea? It's meaningful. You can understand what it means, but can't we think of an appropriate phrasal verb here? He will
Point out.
Tell us.
Tell
Give
us.
us.
Give up. Give us. Give us.
Point out.
Okay. All right. He will point out an idea. He will, what about, he will come up. He will come up with an idea. He will come up with an idea. He will point out the issue. Okay. Idea. He will come up with an idea. I'm sure he will come up with an idea. I'm sure he will come up with a better idea. Come up. All right. So if you do not use the appropriate phrasal verb, sometimes you might sound weird, very unusual, bookish, artificial. So that's why I want you to make an extra effort to improve your knowledge on phrasal verbs. Okay. Now, from the discussion we had up to now, it's obvious that certain phrasal verbs are very easy to understand. Very easy to guess, like come in, sit down, take off, go on. When I come to your class, you're singing. It's a beautiful song. And I might tell you, go on, it's beautiful. Go on, continue. Go on means continue. That's nice. Go on, throw away. Look at your pencil, throw it away. It's old, it's ugly. Throw it away. So if you know the meaning of the verb throw, you can easily guess the meaning of the phrasal verb throw away. Make up. I ask you this question. Why did you come to the class last week? Miss, you know my granny passed away last week. I know you're making up a story. Don't make up stories. Make up Don't make up stories. You can easily guess the meanings of certain phrasal verbs. Come in, sit down, take off, go on, throw away, make up. Very easy to guess. But some phrasal verbs have idiomatic meanings, indirect meanings. They are not easy to guess. Come off. You know the meaning of the verb come. But when you add the particle off, there is a new definition. There is a new meaning. Come කියන verb එක දැනගත්තට come off වල තියෙන වෙනමම meaning එකක්. I could say, fortunately, our plan came off. Our plan came off. What does that mean? Come off means what? Succeed. Can you guess it? No. So this is very challenging for us non-native English speakers like us. Find this very challenging. You know the meaning of the verb come, but when you add the particle off, it has a different meaning. Our plan came off. If you don't know the meaning of the phrasal verb come off, now you don't know what to say. You don't know how to respond, how to react. Make out. See, you know the meaning of the verb make, but when you add the particle out, there is a new meaning, new definition. Can you make out my handwriting? See clearly. I can't make out whether it's a man or a woman. See? Fork out. Fork, you know. But when you add the particle out, it has a different meaning. Fork out means you give something unwillingly, especially money. It troubled me so much. I forked out $30. I forked out 500 rupees. I forked out. You give something unwillingly. See? Is it easy to guess? Just because you know the meaning of the verb, is it easy to guess the meaning of the phrasal verb? No, not really. Back out. Back out. She backed out in the last minute. For example, let's say Kavindu asked me, Miss, can you please do us a workshop next week? And I gladly accept it. And the day before the workshop, I might call Kavindu and say, Kavindu, I'm going on a trip tomorrow. I can't do the workshop. Please, Miss, don't back out now. We can't find a resource person in the last minute. Please don't back out now. Back out. I refuse. Refuse. Back out. See, you know the meaning of the verb back, but when you add the particle, it has a different meaning. Polish off. Let's polish it off. Can you polish it off? Finish. Polish off means finish something. Snowed under. Okay. Somebody says, don't talk about trips. We are snowed under these days. What? Snowed under? This is Sri Lanka. What are you talking about? Somebody might say, I'm snowed under these days. This is the intake. So we are snowed under. What does that mean? Is the person talking about snow? No. What does that mean? Snowed under? Any guesses?
Shake off.
Sorry?
Shake off.
Busy?
Exactly. Lot of work. You're busy. We are snowed under these days. Don't talk about trips. We are snowed under. I am snowed under these days. You're not talking about snow. You're talking about the workload. I am snowed under. We are snowed under. And remember, this phrasal verb is always used in the passive form. You can't say, I snowed under. No, this has to be used in the passive form. I am snowed under. We are snowed under. We were snowed under last week. Okay? See, in summation, it's obvious that certain phrasal verbs are very easy to guess, while some phrasal verbs are not easy to guess. Why is this really difficult? Why is this really challenging? As we have already discussed, when a particle is added to a verb, particle means adverb or a preposition. What happens? A new definition is created. A new meaning is created. Make out. It has a new meaning. Make out means see clearly. Bring in. You know the meaning of the verb bring. Can you please bring it to me? But when you add the particle in, it has a different meaning. Bring in means make profit. Neither film brought in any money. Brought in, bring in, it means profit kale. Make profit. You see, you know the meaning of the verb bring, but when you add the preposition in, it has a different meaning, which is difficult to guess. Packing. You know the meaning of the verb pack, but when you add the preposition in, it has a different meaning. Packing means what? My friend says, I can't do this job any longer. Well, you can't just pack it in. You need money. Think twice. You can't just pack it in. Packing? What do you mean? Packing a job? Yeah, packing means leave, resign. You stop doing your job. Pack in. Is it easy to guess? Not really. So this is why non-native English speakers like us find this challenging. When the particle is added to the verb, a new meaning is created, which is difficult to guess. Another. Each time the particle changes, a new meaning is created. It's the same verb. Look for, look into, look after, look forward to. This is a three-part phrasal verb. As you can see, only the particle has been changed here. It's the same verb. Verb remains the same. It's only the particle that I have changed. But each time I change the particle, the meaning has changed. Look for means what? Search. What are you looking for? I'm looking for my key. I can't find it. I'm looking for my key. Look into. Look into. Investigate. You go home now. I'll look into your problem. I'll do something about it. Look into your problem. Look into. Look after. Look after means take care of somebody. You should look after your parents. You should look after your parents. Look after. Look forward to. You refer to future. You await something. You await something. See, it's the same verb. Only the particle has been changed. But each time the particle changes, a new meaning is there. This is another reason why we find this quite challenging, quite difficult. Even though you know the meaning of the verb, it's difficult to guess the meaning of the phrasal verb. Another challenge. Some phrasal verbs can have several different meanings. Same phrasal verb. Same phrasal verb, but different meanings. Isn't it difficult? It is. See, fill in. I will give you a questionnaire. I might say, I am a third-year student of the University of Colombo. I'm doing a research. Can you please fill in this questionnaire for me? Can you please fill in this form for me? Fill in is a phrasal verb. You can easily understand, well, fill in. Okay, I will fill in. I will write down the details that you have asked for in the document. Fill in, you can guess it. Fill in also means replacing. For example, I might tell my colleague, I need to go to the bank. It's an emergency. Can you please fill in for me for 10 minutes? Fill in for me? Fill in? Am I asking my friend to write something? No. What does that mean? Replace. Can you please answer the phone calls? If a customer comes, can you please attend to that? Replace. See, it's the same phrasal verb. Can you please fill in for me for 10 minutes? Fill in. Same phrasal verb, but it has a different meaning this time. Fill in also means telling something. I meet a friend after ages and my friend might say, I have a lot to fill you in. I have a lot to fill you in. I can also tell one of my friends, let's have a coffee. While having the coffee, you can fill me in on what happened at the meeting. Fill in means what? Tell something, fill something, or replacing or completing something. There, fill in means tell something. I have a lot to fill you in means I have a lot to tell you. You see, it's the same phrasal verb. Fill in. But it has several different meanings, just like take off. When you want to say remove, you can use a phrasal verb, take off. It's wrong. Take off your coat. Even for a plane, when it's airborne, you can use the same phrasal verb. The plane took off at 5:30 yesterday. Another challenge for us. Okay. Sometimes you can say slight differences, not major differences, slight differences between British and American usage. British and American usage mainly. Slight differences, not big differences. Sometimes the particle might change. For example, a Britisher might say, matches were rained off. They use the particle off. Matches were rained off. What does that mean? Matches had to be cancelled because of the rain. What happened to the matches? Exactly, that's correct. Correct. Somebody might say, what about the match? What happened? Don't talk about it. It was rained off. It was rained off. A Britisher would use the particle off, whereas an American would use the particle out. An American might say, matches were rained out. Don't talk about it. It was rained out. It was rained out. So there can be slight differences between Britishers and Americans. All right? Slight differences, not major differences. Now we've been discussing a lot. Let's do this activity. Can you guess the meaning of the phrasal verbs? I have given you suggestions. You need to pick one. Split up means what? Manage, stop, separate.
Teacher, we can see a white color screen.
I'm so sorry. Oh, hold on. Thank you so much. I think it's clear now. Yeah?
Yes, teacher. Now it's clear.
Thank you. Thank you for pointing it out. Split up means what? Manage,
Separate.
stop, or separate.
Separate.
Separate. Second one, polish off. I think we discussed this. Finish, wait, kill. Finish. Polish off means finish. Finish. Third one, hang on a minute. What does that mean? Correct. I'm sure you use these phrasal verbs in your day-to-day conversations, even though you don't know that it's a phrasal verb. Turn down.
Refuse.
Ignore.
Best answer, because why did you turn down such a good offer? It's a wonderful offer. Why did you turn down such a good offer? Refuse. Go along with. This is also a three-part phrasal verb. Go along with.
Agree.
Correct. Agree.
Disagree.
Stop.
Agree.
Stop. Stop.
Don't give it up. Stop. Give up means stop.
Stop.
Right. This time, you can see in the blue box, you can see nouns. You can see objects. You can see nouns. I want you to think of an appropriate object for the phrasal verb that you see. Zip up. Zip up is a phrasal verb. Which word can you use? Zip up what? Correct.
Jacket.
Zip up is a phrasal verb. Zip up. Zip up means fasten. Fasten.
Jacket.
Wolf down. Don't wolf it down. Don't wolf it down. That's correct. Wolf down means
Food.
Yeah. Wolf down. Wolf down means what? Wolf down means you eat something quickly, greedily. I might say, don't wolf it down. Eat slowly. We have enough time to start the concept. Don't wolf it down. Wolf down. Rent out.
Apartment.
Apartment.
Lay off.
Shoes.
Business.
No.
Mistake.
No.
Hotel.
Workers.
Yeah.
Workers.
Workers. See, what does that mean? It's a difficult period for the company. They find it difficult to make the payments. They have 100 employees and they decide to lay off 50 employees. They have 100 employees, but it's a difficult period for the company. Exactly. Lay off workers. You let them go. You ask them to leave. You let them go. Lay off workers. Especially during a difficult period, sometimes companies lay off employees. Rub out. This is easy. Rub out. Yeah.
$30.
$30.
I think I heard the answer. About what?
£30.
Mistake.
Mistake. With a rubber, with eraser, with a rubber, what do? Your teacher might say, look here, this is wrong. Rub it out, erase it. Rub out the mistake. Set up.
Mistake.
Rub out mistake. Set up. I want to set up what?
Business.
I want to set up my own business.
Yes.
Business. I am tired of working for others. I want to set up my own business one day. Fork out. I explained this earlier.
$30. $30.
Fork out means you give something unwillingly, especially money. I forked out 500 rupees. I forked out. I gave 500 rupees, not willingly, unwillingly. Flag down. Flag down. Flag down. Your friend might say, I can walk further.
Taxi.
Taxi. I can't walk.
Taxi.
When your friend says, I can't walk further, your friend might say, shall I flag down a taxi for you? Flag down means you wave at a driver and make a vehicle stop. You don't stop your own vehicle, you make another vehicle stop for you. You wave at a driver and you make a vehicle stop. Flag down. Shall I flag down a taxi for you? Shall I flag down a taxi? Wear out. Or worn out. Yes.
Shoes.
Exactly. Worn out. We use the past participle form of the verb worn out. Look at your shoes, they are worn out. Throw them away. Worn out. In the last one, check into.
Hotel.
Hotel. We checked into the hotel at 10:30. Something similar. Leave through. Why don't you leave through the what?
Problem.
Not really.
Problem.
Through means what?
Magazine.
Yeah, correct. Magazine. Leaf through the magazine. It means you turn the pages. Leaf through means turn the pages. Leaf through the magazine. Get into.
Car.
Get into the car. Pack in. I explained. Job. Pack in the job. It means you leave the job. You resign. You can't just pack it in. You need money. Think twice. You can't just pack it in. Pack in means resign, leave. Close down.
Factory.
Factory. Tidy up.
Room.
Fill in.
Questionnaire.
Correct. The list of questions. Sort out.
Problem.
Problem. Wrap up.
Present.
Go down with. Go down with.
Flu.
Go down with flu. She's going down with flu. Look at her. She's going down with flu. Go down with. And the last one, cross out. Cross out what?
Mistake.
This is wrong. Cross it out. Cross it out. Your mistakes. Right. Blow up. Blow up.
Explode.
Put up with. It's also three-part phrase.
Build.
Tolerate.
Tolerate. I can't put up with this grief. I can't put up with this grief. I can't put up with this separation. Tolerate. Call off.
Cancel.
Shall we call off the meeting? Shall we call off the meeting? Shall we cancel the meeting? You see, you understand the verb call. But when you add the particle of, see, See how the meaning has changed? Call off means cancel. Pass away.
Die.
Die. Die.
Die.
Correct. Dream.
Think of.
Think of.
On.
Continue.
Okay. Let's learn some more phrasal verbs. First one, I buzzed at the second interview completely. Somebody asked, I got to know that you went for an interview. What happened? Don't talk about it. I buzzed it up. I buzzed up the second interview completely. Buzzed up. What does that mean?
Ruin.
Mess
Yeah,
up.
that's good. I ruined.
I failed.
I failed.
Messed up.
You didn't do a good job. It means you did not do a good job. You ruined it. Correct. I buzzed up the second interview. The kids will get into trouble. The kids will get into trouble because they are batting around the town all the time.
Wandering.
Batting around means what? Just roaming, idling, walking here and there.
Get into.
Correct. Get into is also a phrasal verb. Involve. Get into is also a phrasal verb. It means you involve. Bat around. Batting around is also a phrasal verb. Batting around means loitering, roaming, idling, just walking here and there without a proper purpose. We managed to beat out the fire. Beat out the fire.
Stop the fire.
Correct. You're correct. You stop the fire. You extinguish the fire. You stop it. Beat out. They want to employ young graduates to beef up their sales force. What's the phrasal verb here?
Increase.
Beef up is a phrasal verb, and the meaning? They want to employ young graduates. They want young people. Why? Because they want to strengthen their sales force, to enhance, to increase, to improve. Beef up. It means to strengthen.
Miss.
The government is trying to bring down the inflation. Bring down. Meaning?
Reduce.
Reduce. To reduce. Okay. This time, I want you to, the work has been given to you. I want you to think of an appropriate particle, preposition or an adverb. I'll help you with the first and the others are for you. He just brushed any objections to the proposal. He ignored, he didn't care, he didn't listen. He just brushed aside is the particle. He just brushed aside all the objections to the proposal. Brushed aside. Second is for you. Everyone hoped that the wedding would bring the two families. Bring is the verb. What should be the particle?
Together.
Excellent. Good job. Everyone hoped that the wedding would bring the two families together. There were big delays as the traffic built up. Correct. It took me half an hour to calm her.
Down.
If he carries drinking like this, he's going to have a problem.
Carries on.
Correct. Carries on. Many of the city's leading restaurants close
Down.
Close down. We use the painting to call
Up.
power up. Emergency services claim they do not have the resources to deal
With.
Ring the restaurant to find
out.
He troubled me so much to buy him a new bike that eventually I just gave
Gave it.
He troubled me. Gave in is the correct word. Good job. Well done. He troubled me so much to buy him a new bike. And eventually I just gave in. I agreed. I said, okay. I agreed to do something. I said, okay. I just gave in. I just gave in. You give up habit. You give up something. For the 11th, For the next one, I gave smoking months ago.
Up. Gave up.
Gave up.
It's a
Give
habit.
up.
You need to use the article of I gave up smoking months ago. And the last one, the music festival goes
On.
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 Goes on. Correct. Goes on. Right. Some more example situations. Let me explain them to you. Did you hear how much Tim paid for his bike? Yeah, I think he's been ripped off. I think he's been ripped off. Ripped off is a phrase.
Bro.
What
Bro.
does that mean? What does that mean?
Bro.
I'm sorry?
Unrepaired.
Cheated.
Cheated. Yeah, that's true. I think he's been cheated. Avuvela. Vatina ganata vada vadi mudalak dila aragana. I think he's been cheated. He's been ripped off. Ripped off is a phrasal verb. I'm sure he's been ripped off. He has been cheated. Ripped off. He has overpaid. Should I cook dinner tonight? No, I think we should eat out for a change. Eat out.
Eat outside. Eat
Eat
outside.
out is a phrasal verb. You eat from a restaurant. You go out and have your meals from a restaurant. Eat out. I just don't want to do this job anymore. But you can't just pack it in. I'm sorry. You can't just pack it in. Pack in is a phrasal verb. It means leave.
Leave.
Resign. Resign. Some more. Have you seen the way he looks at Tina? Yeah, I think he's falling for her. I think he's falling for her. Yeah, you get attracted to somebody. You get attracted. I think he's falling for. You know the meaning of the verb fall. But when you use the particle for, fall for, it has a different meaning. I think he's falling for her, getting attracted. She looks so miserable these days. I know, we should cheer her up. Cheer up somebody. Make somebody happy. Yeah.
Make her happy.
Yeah, make somebody happy. That lesson was so boring, wasn't it? Yeah, I kept nodding off all the time. Nodding off.
Falling asleep.
Yeah, falling asleep. I kept nodding off all the time. Falling asleep. I don't understand what this means. No, I couldn't figure it out either. Phrasal verb?
Understand.
Understand.
I'll always figure out. Figure out is a phrasal verb and it means understand. I couldn't understand it either. I couldn't understand it either. I couldn't figure it out. Figure out. Can you figure it out? No? Okay. Few more activities. This time, you can see the phrasal verbs within brackets. And I want you to think of an appropriate phrasal verb for the given sentences. Let's start with the first. She decided to her all shoes.
Throw away.
Decided to
Throw away.
throw away her old shoes. Can we, next, second one, can we, the point you raised earlier.
Leave behind.
Can we gave up on the point you raised? Settle down. Gave up.
Follow up.
Teacher, hang on. Switch on. Teacher,
Switch on. Hang on.
Hang on. Switch on.
Leave behind.
Settle down. Settle down.
Follow up. Leave behind. Hang on. Hang on. Hang on. Switch on.
This is unfair. You
Go
are
back.
on all the phrasal verbs.
Follow up. Follow up.
Go back.
Go back.
Go back.
See, the point you raised earlier. Can we go back? Can we go back to the point? Go back is a correct phrasal verb. Can we go back to the point you raised earlier? Can we go back to the point you raised earlier? Third one, we always, any customer complaints. We always
Follow up.
hang on. Follow up.
Follow.
We always follow up any customer complaints. Fourth one, shall I? The lights. Shall I?
Switch on.
Switch on the light.
Switch on the lights.
Yeah.
on the lights.
Shall I switch on the lights? See, something else that I can explain here using the same example is sometimes you can bring the object in between the verb and the particle. For example, can you please write down this number? Write down this number. Can you please write this number down? That's also correct. Write down is a phrasal verb and you can add the noun later on. You can add the object later on. Write down this number. If not, can you please write this number down? Let me give you another example. Can I flag down a taxi? Can I flag down a taxi? Flag down is a phrasal verb. Taxi is the object. You can also say, shall I flag a taxi down for you? That's also correct. Even here, shall I switch the lights on? Shall I switch on the lights? Correct. In certain cases, you can bring the object in between. Verb ekai, particle ekai, method samahara phrasal verbs object එක ගෙනාවට කමක් නැහැ. But not always. Not always. For example, can you say, I am looking for my key? That's correct. Look for what? My key. I am looking for my key. That's perfect. But can you say, I am looking my key for? No. Miss Q1 object not always. Why? Some phrasal verbs are separable. Some other phrasal verbs separate karana puluwa. Object write down. That's fine. Flag down. That's fine. Switch on. That's fine. You can bring the object in between. You can place it in between. But some phrasal verbs are inseparable. Object look for is such an example. You can't say, I am looking my key for. That's incorrect. Okay. So keep in mind, when it comes to certain phrasal verbs, you can write the object in between. But certain phrasal verbs cannot be separated. They are inseparable. Fifth one, a minute. I'm not ready.
Hang on.
Hang on.
Hang on a minute. Hang on a minute. I'm not ready. Hang on a minute. I'm not ready. I used to smoke, but a couple of years
Gave
ago.
up.
Gave up.
I gave up.
Gave up. That's correct. I gave up. It took the teacher several minutes to
Settle down.
Till the class down.
settle down the class. Settle the class down. Correct. Correct. It took the teacher several minutes to settle down the class. The box is too big, so we had to. Throw it away. Even here, see, throw
Leave it behind.
I'm sorry. Yeah, that's correct. So sorry. The box is too big, so we had to leave it behind. Leave it behind. Thank you. That's the correct answer. Throw away is for the first one. She decided to throw away for all shoes. And for the 8th, the box is too big, so we had to leave it behind. Even here, can you see the object is in between? Especially if it is a pronoun. Ask her out. Remember, ask her out. Throw it away. Right, this activity. I think I might have to my exam. Which one is the most appropriate phrasal verb? I think I might have to my exam.
Go through my exams.
Go through.
My exams.
Make out.
Put off.
Put off means postpone. I think I might have to put off my exams. Put off means postpone. Put off, postpone. I think I might have to put off my exam. I can't, the number plate of the car. I can't.
Make out. I can't make out.
I can't make out. I can't see clearly. Make out is correct. I can't make out. I can't see clearly. Make out. It's very interesting to see how these huge structures
Put together.
Fourth one.
Watch out.
Watch out. Watch out. There's a rock ahead. Watch out. Fifth one. She is a difficult
Going through.
Going through a difficult period in life.
I'm impressed. I actually thought you would say go through, but no, you are very smart. You said she's going through. Excellent. Super. Well done. She is going through a difficult period. So just because I have given you the verb go through, you can't use it as it is. You will have to conjugate. If the subject is singular, The phrasal verb has to be singular. If this is past tense, you have to change the tense. She is going through a difficult period. Excellent. Well done. I think we should the point.
To the point.
Stick to.
Stick to the point.
To the
I think
point.
we should stick
To the point.
I think we should stick to the point. Seventh, when my turn came to the debate, I felt very nervous.
Wind up.
Correct.
Wind up.
Correct. Correct. When my turn came to wind up the debate, I felt very nervous. Last one, can you
Make out.
You make out.
and you make out by handwriting? That's correct. And this is the last activity. With this, we're going to finish the session. Make sentences for following phrases. What you can do is, not for all, pick one. Pick one phrasal verb and I want you to make your own sentences. Which one are you going to select? It's up to you. Pass away, find out, call off, carry on, look
Carry
up.
on your work.
Okay, carry on your good work.
His mother has passed away.
I'm sorry, can you please come again?
Look after
His
him.
mother has passed
Look
away.
after him.
We should look after.
I had to call off the meeting as I was busy.
Very good. I had to call up the meeting as I was busy.
Find out your pen.
Find out what? I want to find out the reason. I want to find out the reason.
His
But
father.
Find out the book I lost.
I can't find out my pen.
I just called off a meeting.
should be called a meeting, correct. Look after
Carry on the story. Patient. I will
Shall we call
Patience,
off the
you're correct.
appointment?
We should carry on this project.
We should carry on this project. True,
About
true.
the pandemic, we should carry on in life.
That's correct. You might face obstacles, there can be challenges, but we should carry on this project. We should go on, we should continue. Well done. Excellent. What else? Anything else that comes to your mind?
Look
We can call off the phone.
Parents are look after kids.
Can you look after my pet?
My pet.
Can you look after? Okay, can you look after my
your
pet?
health.
We are going to look at. Can you please
Look out for your
Okay, all right.
I want to find out why he didn't come.
Very good. I want to find out. I want to find out the reason. I want to find out as to why he did not turn up. Turn up is another phrasal verb. I want to find out the reason. I want to find out. I want to find out as to why he did not turn up for the meeting. I want to find out why he didn't attend the meeting. I want to find out. You're very serious. What is?
I will find out who did the crime.
I want to find out. Okay, okay. I want to find out who did it.
Mrs. Pereira passed out.
I want to find out more about this investigation.
after this plan. Find out. Sorry. His father passed.
I want to find out the problem.
How to find out.
Mrs. Pereira passed away.
Pass away. Who? Somebody. Huh?
Mrs.
My
Pereira.
grandfather has passed.
Her grandmother passed away last week. Passed away.
His father was passed away in last year.
Was passed away? No. His father passed away. Okay. She passed away. Died. She died. Likewise, he passed away. His grandfather passed away. You need to say was
His mother passed away.
correct. That's correct. His father passed away weeks ago. All right. So if I quickly summarize what we've been discussing today, a phrasal verb consists of a verb and a particle. This particle can be a preposition or an adverb. What happens in a phrasal verb is these two words, verb plus the particle, they are combined and a new meaning is created. Some phrasal verbs are very easy to guess, very easy to understand, but some phrasal verbs have indirect meanings, idiomatic meanings. That's why non-native English speakers like us find this quite challenging, but we can't leave it. We need to make an effort to learn the phrasal verbs. That's why I recommended you to either purchase a good book on phrasal verbs. There are very good books on phrasal verbs with examples, with synonyms. If not, you can download a good list of phrasal verbs and study at least 5 phrasal verbs a day. Don't make it a burden, but at least 5 phrasal verbs. with the meaning, with some example sentences, you will definitely use such phrasal verbs in your day-to-day conversations. And at least when others use the phrasal verbs, you should be able to understand the meaning. Because if you do not understand the meaning of the phrasal verb, you will feel helpless. You will not know what to say, how to respond. All right. I agree this is a bit of a challenging area in English, but it's also interesting, plus very useful. This is, I mean, you need to make an extra effort. You need to make this part of your life so that you will enhance your knowledge on phrasal verbs, and you will not find yourself in embarrassing situations. You will know how to respond to others' questions or their opinions. Anything else that we need to discuss? Any questions that you have?
Excuse me, madam. Do phrasal verbs always begin with the
I'm sorry, can you please ask it again? Could you please ask it again? I missed it.
Does phrasal verbs always start with the verb, miss?
Yeah, that's true. That is how you differentiate it from a verb. It always starts with a verb. Yeah, that's why you call it a phrasal verb. It has to have a verb, but you call it a phrase. It means verb plus preposition or an adverb. It can be a preposition, it can be an adverb. These two are combined and a single meaning is created. Anything else? I understand you cannot learn phrasal verbs within a day. Okay, just because you study a list tonight, when you wake up tomorrow, you can't do that. You can't expect miracles. This has to, it's a process. So start learning phrasal verbs today onwards. Make it a habit to learn at least 5 phrasal verbs a day. You will find it very interesting. And this is not used only in informal English. Even in formal English, this is used. So you will find this very useful. So make it an effort. It's worth. Anything else? All right. So this has been a wonderful session, very interactive. Thank you so much for your contributions, for the amazing answers. You are an excellent bunch. Thank you so much for your responses. So Mudhu, over to you.
Thank you,
Thank
miss.
you, Miss Madhuresha Chaturani.
Thank you, miss.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, teacher.
Thank you, miss.
Thank you, miss.
Thank you,
Teacher,
Michelle.
stay safe, teacher. Have a nice day, teacher.
Malli,
Welcome.
the session is not over yet. I'd like to request all of you to just hang around for another 10 or so minutes. So I'd like to thank Miss Madhuresha Chaturani for another informative and enjoyable session. Our young royalists must have enjoyed it a lot. So to conclude our grammar workshop, I'd like to invite the treasurer of the Advanced English Skills Improvement Unit of Royal College, Romit Bandara, to deliver the vote of thanks.
Thank you, Sumudhu. Our guest speaker, Ms. Madhuresha Chaturani, Principal Sir, Senior Deputy Principal, Deputy Principals, Assistant Principals, Senior Master in Charge of Clubs and Societies, Senior Games Master, Teacher in Charge of the Advanced English Skills Improvement Unit, Prefects, members of the club, and my dear fellow royalists. On behalf of the Advanced English Skills Improvement Unit, let me express our gratitude to all the wonderful people who supported us in numerous ways to make this event a success. Firstly, let me thank our guest speaker, Ms. Madhuresha Chaturani, for spending her valuable time and sharing her knowledge with us. Madam, I'm sure the 2 sessions you conducted would have helped all the participants a lot to improve their knowledge. Once again, let me thank you for accepting our invitation and sparing your valuable time to educate our brothers. I would also like to thank our Principal Sir, Senior Master in Charge of Clubs and Societies, Senior Games Master, and our Teacher in Charge for their continuous guidance and encouragement in all club activities. We are also grateful to our Prefects Council for helping us in organizing such events. Last but not least, let me thank the members of our club and our fellow royalists for joining with us to make this event a success. I do humbly apologize if I had failed to mention any individual due to the constraints of time. Thank you and have a pleasant day.